$742 every single month for a car that loses 20% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. The car industry doesn't want you thinking about that number. They want you thinking about the leather seats, the backup camera, the new car smell. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on everything the car market is hiding, and by the end of this, you will never walk into a dealership the same way again. Right now, there are over 3 million unsold new cars sitting on dealership lots across America. That number has been quietly rising since late 2023, but the industry doesn't want to talk about it. During COVID, dealers were charging $10,000 over sticker and people were actually paying it, but that era is over. Therefore, dealers still haven't lowered their prices, and that gap is quietly costing you thousands of dollars. Walk into any dealership today and look at the window sticker, not the manufacturer's sticker, the second one. The one the dealers stuck on themselves. That's called an addendum, and it's pure profit theater. Market adjustment? That means nothing. Nitrogen-filled tires? Cost them $12. Paint protection? Just a cheap spray from AutoZone. But these fake add-ons can quietly add $3,000 to $8,000 to the price before you even sit down. Here's where we are right now. Dealer inventory has hit 2.8 million new vehicles, the highest level since 2019. Average days on the lot, 72 days. Before COVID, it was just 45. Cars are sitting, not selling. But the used car market is even worse. CarMax has record inventory. Carvana is drowning in cars they can't sell. Rental companies are flooding the market with fleet vehicles. Therefore, there are way too many cars and not enough buyers. Dealers are getting desperate, and prices are collapsing fast. If you bought a car in 2022 or 2023, I have bad news. You're probably underwater right now. You owe more on your loan than the car is actually worth. Some people are $15,000 underwater, but it's about to get even worse. Therefore, wait until you see what happens when these people try to trade in their cars. Let me show you a real example. In 2022, someone bought a new F-150 for $62,000. They put $4,000 down and financed $58,000. Fast forward to today, they've made payments for 3 years, but they still owe $52,000. The truck is now only worth $43,000. Therefore, they're $9,000 underwater. But here's the worst part. If they try to trade it in, they have to roll that $9,000 negative equity into their next loan, or pay it in cash. They're completely trapped. And this is happening to millions of people right now. According to Edmunds, 23% of all trade-ins right now have negative equity. That's nearly 1 in 4 cars. The average person is $6,200 underwater, a record high. Even worse than the 2008 financial crisis. And it's getting worse every single month as prices keep falling. People who bought at the peak in 2022 are getting absolutely crushed. Their cars are worth 20 to 30% less than what they paid. But they're still making payments on that original inflated price. Why is the market crashing? Reason number 1, interest rates. In 2021, the average car loan was just 3 to 4%. You could finance $50,000 and pay around $700 per month. But in 2026, those same loans are now at 7 to 9%. Therefore, that $50,000 loan now costs $940 every month. People simply can't afford it. So they're not buying. Dealers are stuck with massive inventory, and prices have no choice but to come down. It's basic economics. High interest rates kill car sales. Reason number 2, the massive affordability crisis. The median American makes $48,000 a year. The average new car now costs $51,000. That means the typical monthly payment is $750. That's 19% of their gross income. But financial experts say it should never go above 10%. Therefore, people are completely tapped out. They can't afford these prices, so they're either not buying at all, or they're flooding the used market. And that's crashing prices even harder. Demand is collapsing because normal people have been priced out. Reason number 3, inventory came flooding back. In 2022, there were only 1.1 million new cars on dealer lots nationwide, extreme shortage. But in 2026, that number has exploded to 2.8 million. That's a massive 155% increase. Automakers ramped up production, the chip shortage ended, and factories are running overtime. But demand isn't there. Therefore, we now have way too much supply and not enough buyers. This is a classic oversupply crash. Dealers are choking on inventory and they're forced to discount heavily, which is crashing prices across the board. So dealers are panicking. They're stuck with mountains of cars they can't sell. Prices are falling fast. But instead of being honest, they're using increasingly shady tactics to hide the crash from you. Therefore, wait till you see what they're doing with trade-in values and loan terms. It's borderline fraud. Dealer tactic number 1, inflating trade-in values. You walk in with your 2022 truck that's underwater. They smile and say, "Great news. We'll give you $50,000 for your trade." But here's the catch. They quietly mark up the new car by $8,000. Therefore, you're not actually getting a good trade-in. They're just hiding the markup and the numbers. You end up financing even more negative equity. This is the classic four-square worksheet scam, just updated for the crash. They're manipulating you with fake generosity. Dealer tactic number 2, 84-month loans, 7 full years. They stretch the loan to make the monthly payment look smaller. Look, it's only $600 per month. But here's the truth. You end up paying $15,000 extra in interest over those 7 years. Therefore, you'll stay underwater for at least 5 years. By the time you're finally above water, the car will be almost 10 years old and needing major repairs. It's a straight-up debt trap. But dealers love pushing it because it gets you to sign on the spot. Dealer tactic number 3, 0% financing. Sounds amazing, right? Free money. But here's the truth, it's a trap. They quietly inflate the purchase price by $3,000 to $5,000, then give you 0% financing on that higher price. Therefore, you actually end up paying more than if you took normal financing at 5% on the real price. They make up the lost interest by overcharging you up front. It's the same scam as before, just repackaged. But dealers are pushing it hard right now because inventory isn't moving. The crash isn't over. It's going to get worse. Prices will keep falling for the next 6 to 12 months. But what happens in that time will decide whether you make money or lose thousands. Therefore, let me show you exactly what's coming and how you can position yourself to win in this market. Here's my prediction. Dealer bankruptcies are coming. Dealers borrow money to buy every car on their lot. It's called floor plan financing, and right now they're paying 8 to 10% interest. If a car sits for 90 days, they're losing thousands in interest. Small dealers can't survive this. They're already closing stores at the highest rate since 2008. But when these dealers shut down, all their inventory gets dumped at auction. More supply hits the market. Prices drop even further. Therefore, the crash is feeding itself. So how do you protect yourself or even profit from this crash? If you're underwater right now, don't trade in your car. You'll lock in your losses. Therefore, keep making payments and ride it out. Eventually, you'll get back above water. But if you bought at the peak in 2022 to 2023, accept it. You made a mistake. Don't make it worse by rolling negative equity into a new loan. However, if you need a car right now, this is actually one of the best times to buy. Here's exactly how to profit from this crash. Strategy 1. Wait 3 to 6 months if you can. Prices are still falling, so the best deals are still ahead of us. Strategy 2. Buy used, not new. Used cars are crashing even harder, down 20 to 30%. Strategy 3. Negotiate hard. Dealers are desperate with aging inventory. Therefore, they're accepting lowball offers they would have laughed at last year. Strategy 4. Pay cash or put down a huge down payment. Never go underwater again. Strategy 5. Buy boring, reliable cars, Civics, Camrys, and Corollas. Those hold their value much better during crashes. Here's the truth nobody's talking about. Used car prices are down 28% from the 2022 peak. 23% of recent buyers are underwater by an average of $6,200. Dealers are hiding it with fake trade-ins, long loans, and 0% scams. It's going to get worse. More defaults, more repos, more bankruptcies. If you bought at the peak, don't panic sell. If you're buying now, wait. The best deals are coming in the next 6 months. This is the biggest car market crash since 2008. If this exposed the truth the media won't tell you, smash that like button right now. I analyzed 20,000 car sales and talked to dealers off the record to bring you this. Drop a comment. Are you underwater? How much? Subscribe to Motor Intel Report, hit the bell, and share this with anyone who bought or is buying a car. This could save them thousands. This is Motor Intel Report. Thanks for watching. See you in the next investigation.